Mary up, and I put her on the changing table.
That their child was fine.
She was prevented from caring for her child.
Her face was like very, very slim, like her cheeks almost looked sunken.
A judge ruled there is enough evidence to put a Cedar Springs couple on trial.
It is life without parole.
For child abuse, first-degree and felony murder in their daughter's death.
A mother from Michigan was found guilty of killing her newborn daughter last month and will spend the rest of her life in prison.
That is a charge called homicide felony murder. It is life without parole.
Tashiana Fusari was given a life term without the chance of release by Kent County Judge Paul J. Denifil for killing Mary Welch, the defendant's 10-month-old daughter. 8 people from Kent County, Ohio, found Fusari guilty of first-degree murder and first-degree child abuse. Fusari was also given a 15 to 30-year term by Judge Denifil for child abuse.
A penalty of up to life imprisonment or any term of years less than life.
That term will run at the same time as the life sentence. The person who was charged also had to pay all the court charges and fines. During the hearing, Fusari's lawyer, Daniel Nunzio, told the judge that he and his client were going to appeal the case as soon as possible. Fusari allegedly didn't say anything during the hearing. This video shows Fusari and her husband, Seth Welch's reaction after they were first charged. It has been seen over 11 million times. Fusari cried as Welch learned that he would spend the rest of his life in prison without the chance to get out. Mary was their 3rd child together. Fusari was in jail when their 4th child was born. In January 2020, Seth Welch was also found guilty of murder and child abuse in the death of Mary and given a life sentence without the chance of release.
First-degree child abuse as charged.
Fusari, who was born and raised in New York, first pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder and second-degree child abuse charges, but the court let her change her mind and let the jury decide her fate. A county medical inspector did an autopsy and found that Mary died because she was malnourished and dehydrated. Police said the baby hadn't been fed in days and had only gained 1 pound in the 10 months since she was born.
Mary weighed just 8 pounds at the time of her death.
Fusari said in her criminal trial that her husband had abused her for years. She told the jury that Welch had raped her while holding a gun to her head.
He takes the AK out of the closet and he brings it. He tells me to get on my knees and he puts the gun to my head.
A story from Grand Rapids NBC station, Wood TV said she said, "He takes the AK out of the closet, tells me to get on my knees, and he puts the gun to my head. I have no idea why he's mad at this point. I am at a loss for explanation as to why he became so enraged this time as to place a gun to my head." Fusari said that Welch also tried to cast a spell on her while she was pregnant with their 4th and youngest child.
Reading verses from the Bible as he was...
She said, "He was reading Bible verses while slamming me over and over in the shoulder blades with his open palm and saying things like, 'Demon, get away.'" Fusari said that Welch's abuse made it impossible for her to protect her child in the final sense.
To recall specifically a case to this degree of severity.
Despite the fact that the autopsy showed that she had not had any food for days, she also said over and over that she fed and nursed Mary.
I know that I fed her and nursed her.
On August 2, 2018, Welch called 911 to say that he had found Mary dead in her cot. Nunzio said that his client was only a shell of the person she was before she met Welch because she was abused all the time. Nunzio said she wasn't able to care for her child the way she wanted to. He told her he would kill her and beat her up. Authorities say that the medical examiner found that the child had been dead for at least 72 hours before the 911 call.
I was not prepared for what I saw.
When the police arrived, they said that Mary's eyes and lips were sunken into her head. The couple is said to have told detectives that they had seen their daughter getting thinner up to a month earlier.
Started putting on weight recently. We really started pounding the...
Police say Fusari told them they didn't take the child to the doctor because they were afraid of Child Protective Services.
But he doesn't take her to a doctor.
Didn't trust medical services and felt it was religiously wrong to do so.
The call CPS, when I said I was, that baby would have still been alive and she could have had a chance. Everybody want to know? Yes, I did kill her!
A lady from Detroit was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the murder of 2 of her 4 children and the subsequent practice of placing their remains in the freezer. After the remains of the children were discovered in the freezer by removal workers, Michelle Blair, who is 36 years old, was charged with the crime, found guilty, and sentenced to prison in a span of less than 4 months. She confessed to torturing and assaulting her daughter Stoney, who was 13 years old, and her son Stephen, who was 9 years old, in order to cause their deaths in 2013 and 2012, respectively.
The allegations against my client, Mr. Berry, are failure to protect and...
The petition was submitted towards the end of the previous month. She claims that they are responsible for the sexual abuse of a sibling, but she was not there during the assaults, and she did not report them to the authorities.
There's no physical evidence that that younger child was physically abused.
In her statement, the prosecutor, Karen Goldfarb, said that there was no evidence of sexual abuse. She said that she used sticks to strike the individuals, that she poured hot water over them, and that she placed garbage bags over their heads. Additionally, it was said that the mother had starved her kid by providing her only muesli as her sole morning food on a daily basis. After that, she used a plastic bag and a t-shirt to try to suffocate her life. Her teenage daughter, who was assaulted with a 2X4 and burnt with a clothes iron by her mother, reportedly informed the police that Stephen had been suffocated with a belt before he passed away. The police took this information from her daughter. Blair said that she had no intention of killing Stephen, but that she was pleased with the manner in which she had done it.
Right now, the medical examiner has completed the autopsies on 2 children found stuffed in their mother's freezer.
In the past, medical examinations revealed that the 2 children, who were still alive at the time, had been subjected to abuse. To provide one example, the scars that looked to be the consequence of an extension cable striking the 8-year-old boy were rather noticeable.
Consistent as to the sexual abuse that her younger son admitted and the other 2 children who are not.
The attorney for the defendant said in her defense that she, too, had been mistreated when she was a youngster. According to the allegations, the mother appeared before the court for 15 minutes and said that one of the dads of her 4 children, Stephen Berry and Alexander Dorsey, did not have the right to be a part of their lives. She was referred to as pathetic by her relatives, who also claimed that they were lying about the way she dealt with her children. She also said that the father was often intoxicated whenever he was invited to see his children. In addition, Blair reported that one of Dorsey's other grandchildren claimed that Dorsey's father had assaulted her sister. In addition, the mother responded to the attorney by yelling, "How dare you say that didn't happen to my child?" Since her other child had not been subjected to any kind of abuse.
Disgust me, the Dorsey family disgusts me, because how dare you say that didn't happen to my son?
I was not able to see you there. As evidence, she cited the fact that her son had said in an interview that he had been subjected to abuse.